When you reach the age of 60, it's an important milestone in life, a time to reflect and assess what you have experienced. We don't just look at our successes, but it's also an opportunity to gain a deeper understanding of ourselves after many years filled with experiences. Have you ever asked yourself, when I reach the age of 60, what truly matters to me? This is the moment when you can change your perspective and reshape your life, living more lightly and fully. Entering this phase, we have gone through numerous challenges in work, family, and relationships. Each milestone leaves behind lessons and wisdom. The longer we live, the more we realize that maturity comes not only from achievements but also from a deep understanding of what truly matters in life. In today's video, we will explore 8 things that no longer make sense after the age of 60, and some profound quotes that could change the way you view life. After watching, you will understand how to free yourself from the burdens of aging, to live freely, and regain peace of mind for yourself. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I encourage you to click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to get the latest updates about our videos. Your support is really important to us. If you find this video useful, don't forget to hit like to help us spread the message. I also look forward to receiving your feedback on today's topic. If you like this content, please comment 1 under the video. If the video doesn't suit you, feel free to leave a 0. Your opinion is very valuable and helps me create better, more suitable videos for your preferences. Now let's begin. Things you need to let go of. Life after 60 is not the time to continue carrying things that no longer serve your purpose. This is the perfect time to free yourself from the unnecessary, the burdens that have accumulated, and create space for what truly matters. You can let go of anxieties, unhealthy relationships, outdated habits, and even goals that no longer align, all of which no longer suit the peaceful life you truly deserve. Letting go is not easy, but it is an essential part of the journey to rediscover peace and meaning. As we shed things that no longer fit, we make room for a new, freer, and fuller life. Each step of letting go brings us closer to a life of ease, not dominated by things that no longer hold value. This allows you to live fully with yourself, focusing on the real goals and values, creating cherished memories in the remaining years of your life. 1. Worrying about others' opinions. The concept of worrying. Throughout our younger years, we often live for the judgment of others. Whether it's from family, friends, or society, we feel the need to meet their expectations in order to feel valued. We might change our lifestyle or even our true selves just to gain recognition or approval from those around us. This is something most people go through in their early years, when we're still searching for our place and acceptance in the world. The shift after 60. By the time we reach 60, a significant shift begins to take place in the way we view the world around us. We slowly realize that we no longer need to live to please others. The things that once made us anxious and stressed, such as what others think about us, no longer seem as important. After a lifetime of challenges, successes, and failures, we come to understand that our worth is not determined by others. A sense of freedom and peace begins to emerge, as we no longer carry the weight of expectations that aren't ours to bear. How to free yourself. To release yourself from the worry about others' opinions, we need to start by accepting ourselves. A simple example is choosing to dress in the style you love, rather than following trends or beauty standards imposed by society. Or, choosing to spend time on relationships and activities that truly bring you joy, instead of attending events just to avoid being judged. Letting go of worrying about others is also about learning to become the best version of yourself, without needing approval from the outside. You can take pride in your decisions, what you do, and what makes you happy. This is the key to living a free and fulfilling life, one that is not governed by judgment or society's expectations. 2. Accumulating material wealth. Why accumulating material wealth becomes meaningless. During our younger years, we often believe that happiness and success are measured by the things we own. A big house, a fancy car, or a collection of luxury items become the benchmarks of self-worth. We work hard, sacrifice time and effort, hoping that accumulating as much wealth as possible will bring us peace and satisfaction. However, when we look back, we realize that these things don't bring lasting joy. Material possessions are temporary, and what we own ultimately cannot make us feel complete or happy. The reality after 60. When we reach 60, we begin to view everything differently. The possessions that once symbolized success may now become burdens. A large house requires too much time and effort to maintain, expensive items need to be protected and preserved, and clothes or belongings may no longer suit our current lifestyle. The accumulation of material goods no longer holds value, and on the contrary, they can create stress and diminish comfort in life. After experiencing enough challenges and successes, we realize that freedom and peace don't come from things. They come from freeing ourselves from unnecessary possessions. How to free yourself from materialism. To reduce dependence on material wealth, we can start by decluttering and organizing our living spaces. Items we no longer use, things that don't provide true value, should be given away or sold. This not only makes your living space tidier and more comfortable, but also lightens your mental load. You can also repurpose old items, transforming them into something useful or creating new memories, instead of holding on to them for sentimental reasons or habit. The feeling of lightness and freedom that comes when you're no longer controlled by unnecessary possessions is a crucial part of living a simpler life. You will find that you have more space, time, and energy to enjoy what truly matters: relationships, experiences, and mental freedom. 3. Maintaining social obligations that no longer bring joy. The concept of social obligations. Throughout life, we often feel obligated to attend social events, even when we don't truly want to. Whether it's a family gathering, a meetup with friends, or a work event, we tend to find ourselves drawn into these activities simply because of social expectations. We fear being seen as impolite, uninterested, or even feel responsible for maintaining relationships that no longer bring us joy. This leads us to spend energy on things that are not truly important, sometimes merely out of obligation or the expectations of others. The shift after 60. Once we reach 60, we begin to change how we view social obligations. A strong sense of freedom arises as we realize there's no need to worry about declining invitations to events or activities that no longer bring joy. After years of living, we understand that time is precious and should not be wasted on things that aren't worthy. We also come to recognize that inner peace cannot be found in superficial gatherings or relationships that no longer hold value. At this stage, we can choose to live the way we want, unburdened by society's expectations. How to free yourself. To free yourself from unnecessary social obligations, the first step is learning how to gracefully decline without feeling guilty. Simply saying no when you're not interested or don't have time for an event is enough. There's no need for complicated explanations or long-winded excuses. This doesn't mean you're being selfish. It means you're protecting your time and energy for what truly matters. The lightness comes from engaging only in relationships and events that genuinely add value to your life. Spend time with close friends, participate in activities that bring you joy and personal growth. This will help you feel more complete and at peace with life. 4. Chasing society's beauty standards, social pressure. Regarding beauty, from a young age, we are often deeply influenced by the beauty standards set by society. Images in advertisements, magazines, or on social media are consistently linked with the ideals of perfect beauty: smooth skin, a slim body, and silky hair. To gain recognition and feel confident, many of us tirelessly strive to change our appearance in order to meet society's expectations. These efforts can last a lifetime as we try to look young and beautiful by external standards. The shift after 60. However, as we reach 60, our perspective on beauty undergoes a significant change. Signs of aging, such as wrinkles, gray hair, or changes in our body, are no longer things to be ashamed of. Instead, we learn to see beauty in a new light, beauty that comes not just from the outside, but from self-confidence, kindness, and the person we are inside. The pride we feel in ourselves is no longer based on maintaining a certain appearance, but is rooted in internal values such as resilience, optimism, and the love we have for ourselves. We realize that true beauty is not something that changes with time, but rather a part of living a meaningful life. How to free yourself from beauty standards. To free yourself from the pressure of beauty standards, the first step is learning to love your body and accept the changes that come with time. Embracing the marks of aging, like wrinkles, skin changes, or gray hair, is a way to honor and love yourself for who you are right now. Instead of trying to hide the natural signs of growing older, you can find beauty in the maturity and confidence you've gained after so many years. Remember that true beauty is not found in appearance, but in how you love and treat yourself. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. 5. Holding on to activities that no longer bring joy. The concept of these activities. Throughout life, we often develop habits, hobbies, and activities that once brought us joy and satisfaction. These could be social gatherings, joining clubs, or even personal hobbies like sports, reading, or gardening. However, over time, many of these activities no longer align with our needs or interests. Activities that once brought joy now feel like burdens, leaving us tired and without the motivation to continue. At times, we persist with these habits simply out of a sense of obligation or fear of change, even though they no longer make us happy. The shift after 60. Once we reach 60, we begin to realize that life is too short to continue doing things that no longer bring joy. A sense of relief and freedom arises as we learn to let go of activities that have become burdens. You may find yourself no longer interested in social meetups or activities that no longer serve your current life goals. After years of living, we understand that time is precious and should be spent on what truly matters. Letting go of activities that no longer align with who we are not only gives us more time for the things we enjoy, but also brings a sense of lightness and freedom. This helps us focus on what genuinely brings joy and live more fully with ourselves. How to free yourself. To free yourself from habits and hobbies that no longer bring joy, start by becoming aware of what no longer suits you. It could be as simple as letting go of a hobby you once loved, but now find boring, or stopping participation in social gatherings that no longer excite you. For example, you might have been part of a club or group that you no longer feel connected to or find value in. Be straightforward in declining and make space for what truly makes you happy. Additionally, explore new hobbies you may have never had the chance to try before. It could be learning a new art form, engaging in outdoor activities, or simply finding joy in daily experiences that you hadn't noticed before. The key is to embrace change and allow yourself to do what you truly love and feel happy doing. This not only helps you feel more comfortable, but also opens up new opportunities for growth and living more fully in the years to come. 6. Enduring toxic relationships. The concept of toxic relationships. Throughout life, not all relationships bring positivity and joy. Some relationships are maintained out of a sense of obligation, even though they no longer serve us emotionally or mentally. These relationships could be with friends, family, or colleagues, where you feel trapped, enduring negativity and stress. Instead of offering support and encouragement, these relationships leave you feeling exhausted, anxious, and sometimes hurt. Despite knowing that these relationships aren't good for you, you may continue them due to a sense of duty or fear of hurting others, convincing yourself that you have to endure them. The shift after 60. As we reach 60, we begin to realize that nothing is more important than preserving our emotional and mental health. A sense of freedom and peace emerges as we understand that we no longer have to endure toxic relationships. After years of life experience, we gain the wisdom to recognize that unhealthy relationships only hinder our growth and happiness. Choosing not to continue being involved with people who don't bring positivity into our lives can relieve you in ways you never imagined. This is the time to focus on relationships that truly bring joy and emotional support, rather than being bogged down by those who make your life heavier. How to free yourself from toxic relationships. To free yourself from toxic relationships, the first step is to clearly recognize them. Ask yourself, does this relationship help me grow, bring me joy, or make me feel at peace? If the answer is no, then it's time to reassess. A simple way to start is by reducing the time and energy you invest in unhealthy relationships. You don't need to sever all ties immediately, but you can gradually create distance, reduce conversations, or avoid situations that cause stress. Additionally, learn to reject negative behaviors or words from these individuals. Set clear boundaries and be firm in not allowing anyone to hurt you. Building more positive relationships is crucial. Seek people who truly understand and appreciate you, those who can share your joys and sorrows without making you feel anxious or unsafe. Healthy relationships will encourage your personal growth, bring you motivation, and help you embrace life more fully. Finally, remember that letting go of a toxic relationship is not an act of selfishness, but a necessary step to protect yourself. By freeing yourself from negative connections, you create space for building new, healthier relationships, making your life lighter and more fulfilling. Comparing yourself to others. The reason comparison is the enemy of joy. Throughout life, we may have frequently fallen into the trap of comparing ourselves to others. When we are young, it's easy to compare ourselves to friends, colleagues, or even celebrities to measure how successful we are. Thoughts like, "This person has a beautiful house and a luxury car, why don't I?" Or, "She has a happy family, why don't I?" are all too familiar. Each time we think this way, we feel inadequate, not good enough, and begin to wonder if we are meeting the societal standards. This comparison not only diminishes our self-worth, but also creates anxiety and a constant feeling of dissatisfaction with what we have. The more we compare, the more we feel lacking, and that becomes the enemy of joy. The shift after 60. By the time we reach 60, a significant shift occurs in how we view life and ourselves. We start to realize that each person has their own journey, and no comparison can truly reflect success or real happiness. After many years of living and experiencing, we understand that life is not a race, and no one can live your life for you. Instead of comparing yourself to others, you begin to focus on what you truly want and what makes you feel fulfilled. The achievements of others no longer serve as a measure of your worth, and you begin to take pride in what you have accomplished, no matter how big or small. No longer comparing yourself to others brings a sense of lightness and freedom, allowing you to live more peacefully without the pressure of external expectations or standards. How to free yourself from comparison. To free yourself from comparing with others, it is essential to recognize that each person has a unique path. Instead of focusing on the success or lives of others, focus on your own journey. Every step you take, every accomplishment, big or small, is a valuable part of your life. Be proud of what you have achieved and the experiences you've had. You don't need to meet the accomplishments that society or others expect from you. You simply need to live in alignment with your own values and desires. Ask yourself, what have I done to make myself happy? And what am I proud of in my life? Set your own goals, not to gain recognition from the outside, but to feel content with yourself. When you stop comparing and start valuing yourself for what you've already done and continue to do, you will realize that you are more than enough and can live a fulfilling life as your true self. 8. Sticking to outdated goals. The concept of outdated goals. When we are young, we often set grand goals, such as achieving career success, earning a lot of money, or building a perfect family. These goals are typically tied to societal standards and expectations from family, friends, and ourselves. We may dream of a high position at work, a big house, or fame and recognition. However, as we reach 60, these goals may no longer align with our current life. Life changes, and what was once important may no longer be a priority. Continuing to pursue outdated goals only leads to stress and a feeling of inadequacy, as they no longer bring joy or satisfaction as they once did. The shift after 60. Upon reaching 60, we gradually realize that life goals must change according to our circumstances and current values. The goals we once had may no longer align with our needs and desires at this stage of life. We no longer feel pressured to achieve societal or material successes as we did when we were younger. Instead, we begin to set new and meaningful goals that align with our age and current circumstances. These goals might include finding peace of mind, spending quality time with family, nurturing personal hobbies, or simply living in the present moment. This is a time to live a life with a clearer sense of purpose, where joy no longer comes from external achievements, but from inner contentment and happiness. How to free yourself from outdated goals. To free yourself from outdated goals, you need to begin by redefining your life's objectives. Ask yourself, what do I truly want at this stage of my life? Instead of continuing to pursue old goals that no longer hold value, set personal and more realistic goals. For instance, instead of striving for prestigious titles or a grand career, focus on building deep relationships, creating meaningful experiences, or taking care of your health. It's important to remember that you don't have to keep chasing goals that society or others have predetermined for you. Find what brings you joy and satisfaction, small goals that can bring peace and contentment. You might start with hobbies you didn't have time for before, or create a simple and fulfilling life where each day has meaning. Redefining your life's goals not only helps you free yourself from unnecessary burdens, but also opens the door to a new, more liberated and joyful life. Conclusion: living lighter and more fulfilled. Summary of what has been shared. Throughout our life journey, we inevitably face moments where we must confront things that no longer serve our personal growth and happiness. From concerns about others' opinions, the accumulation of unnecessary material possessions, to societal obligations that bring no joy or toxic relationships, these can all become burdens in our lives. However, when we reach 60, we have the opportunity to let go of these things and make room for what truly matters. Peace of mind, positive relationships, and meaningful experiences. Releasing ourselves from things that no longer hold value is the first step towards living a lighter and more fulfilling life. Advice for life after 60. To live a fulfilling life after 60, you need to live in a way that aligns with your own desires, not influenced by societal standards or unnecessary obligations. Don't let the expectations of others or societal norms dictate how you live. This is the time when you can choose what truly brings happiness and peace to your life. Be courageous enough to live according to your own values, doing things that bring you freedom and tranquility. Age is not a barrier, but rather an opportunity to live the life you've always wanted, free from the constraints of things that no longer serve you. Encouragement to act. So why not start today? Begin by letting go of things that no longer fit your current life. Release toxic relationships, outdated habits, and irrelevant goals, anything that makes you feel trapped. Instead, create a life that is free, meaningful, and filled with new experiences. Now is the time to live fully with yourself, to rediscover the peace and happiness you truly deserve. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might benefit from this topic. Have any thoughts or personal experiences to share? Drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you haven't already, click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to join our community for more empowering content. Thank you for watching, and until next time, embrace the journey with confidence.